Hey guys, my name is Seniac and welcome back to another episode of the Foolsopolis here in City Skylines. But today guys, well, before we actually jump into it, I got a question to ask you. Next episode, I'm going to be building a brand new industry. And even though there's like the fishing industry, the oil industry, the wood industry, there's three that we haven't done yet. Because we've already got the farming in, we've already got the ore in. I want to give you guys two options. So even though there's three more that I still got to get done, I want to give you the options of the woodland industry or the fishing industry that we build next episode. The woodland industry, you have to build like a nice little forest. We got many forests, but a proper forest for it. The fishing industry, the great thing about that, it hasn't got to be kind of located to one area, so we can kind of almost have it dotted around. So let me know in the comment section what industry we should build next episode, and we'll get onto that. But today, I got some more expansions to do. I want to extend the suburbs, extend some train lines, extend some connected roads to some highways, create some more highway connections. I want to kind of add a big chunk of the city on one side and get it all up and running, ready for some zoning. So if you guys are enjoying this, I want to see more of the Foolsopolis, then please make sure you smash that like button down below. If you're new in here, make sure you do subscribe so you get notified when the next episode does come out. But we are back, boom. And last episode, we added in some tram lines. We got an additional one here. We got an additional one down here, which extends off the center one, which we'll be adding more and more in. I know a lot of you guys want to see more buses. Some people want to see some monorails too. Would monorails really work within the Foolsopolis? Let me know in the comment section down below. But we're getting more and more interconnected with the public transport as we go along, which is slowly reducing our traffic. Now, we do have it set to enabled, so despawning can happen. I'm not quite ready to turn it off just yet. But if I go to the traffic flow, with it even off, it's at 79%. So it is already not too good. Well, I say it's not too good, it's fine. But we can definitely, I want it in the 80s before I even decide. When I say 80s, like high 80s. Before I even decide to turn off despawning, because I know we're going to have many issues. But anyway, guys, I want to work with this area right now. This area here and this area. Because what we have is we have a 4-lane road just there, about to crisscross here. Go underneath. We have a 4-lane road coming out there, one coming out there. We have this one coming out. I want to get this whole area connected via roads, which would mean a highway connection here. I did think about having one here, but I think it's too close to this that I kind of skip it, because they can just turn off there. If I had this go under, I don't know. I mean, I can maybe do it one way, or kind of do like, I don't know, because it's too close. That's my issue. It's too close to even this as well. So I think I might just kind of skip that one. Bring it all out, connect it. We've got a train line here, which we're going to slightly bring in a bit and then bow it back out or something like that to create another stop along this rural line. And just get it all connected and get some zoning in, and hopefully we can get more people moving in. Now, I've still forgot to turn off the unlimited money mod, but it's okay because we've got loads of millions in the bank anyway. But this is us right now pushing towards 500,000 population. So let's first then start with these roads. We'll kind of put some basic layouts down. So we have this one which kind of runs quite close to the train line. I'm going to sink that train line down to that height, and it pops back up further anyway, so not to worry too much about that. So if I bring you out to here, if I bring this further down, now I've got to choose, right, which of this road or this road does the connection here kind of draw onto. Interesting. Also, I got to pick a spot, which I'm gonna choose this spot here. So I know that's 10 away, so if I bring that up and then do the same on this side, I know that there is 10 away. So we are straight away going to be rising this up. So we'll do 12 by 10. Then we'll do another 10 by 10. And I'll just pull it over like this. I'm not entirely sure ultimately how high I need to do it. But we'll come back to that a little bit later anyway. So we'll do over the 12, down to 0, and we're back down to normal. So, nice little bridge going over. We'll have a sweet little highway connection there. Hopefully it plays out pretty fine. And, yeah, I got to decide how I want all these to now connect. So, I could just connect them. Straight grid, roundabout, job done. Or, I could maybe bring this so far up and it kind of could bend into that way. It could bend into this way, and then how they connect around here will be the kind of the roundabout. I mean, would I be bringing it over this way, a 4-lane road? The answer is yeah, probably. So it might be that I have multiple roundabouts. Who knows? So if I brought this down here and went across like this, right, where do all this... If I just kind of do this right now, I just want to see where all this kind of connects. So that would be like there. And if that came across, it would literally be here. So if I brought this down to the same... Well, same-ish level. So, yeah, this is where we then need to figure out the best options for us. Because it's all a bit funky. So, if I got rid of this, and let's say the road continuing that way kind of bends down and cuts in. So then we've got a straight line coming in. And then if I kept these as they are, and I had a roundabout there, and then... It's a tough one, isn't it? It's a tough one. But let me sink this train line down first. So if I select you, and you, them nodes there, and align them to the same object height as how low it is down here. So I know only those little points there kind of do what they've got to do. And then if I align you all the way down to here, enter, boom, we've sunken it down. And just to make it a little bit quicker for me, just go bam, 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 wabam. And then we'll just kind of pull it back a bit. There to there. And we'll terraform that and make it a little bit nicer a little bit later. So this little section then, we're obviously going to elevate up and we'll go across by 10, do you reckon? Yeah, 10 will be fine. And then I'll come out by another 10, just to kind of give it a little bit of substance before we do start the bend. So let's get that bend underway then. So bam, to the wham bam, wham bam. And we'll go nice and big. The maximum. So it bends round and then we kind of all connected. So yeah, the connection plays into there. But now I'm thinking, if I deleted this back to about there, and then brought this out by that, should I make these connect? Thus only one roundabout? Ooh. Now I really am. This is, I mean, I am trying to slowly kind of progress from the grid format to more freestyle as we kind of get to the suburbs. And we can kind of have this play out in these 4-lane roads as well. Now I don't think we'll do it that much of a bend. I think about there would be fine. Because then we can kind of build something here. Which maybe can only be accessed by going over a bridge here. And then it kind of connects into there. Or kind of connects into there. But it kind of creates all of that. Thus creating only one roundabout. And then the road here may continue. And then we start to bridge it up and pass it over. So, okay, sweet. We've got some form of a kind of organizational grid. Slash kind of starts to bend away. Does what it needs to do. So let's get this all set up then. So definitely want to bring this so far down. To about there. Now, am I bridging it over that way? Oh, now, that is a good question. I don't know if I'm going to. I honestly don't know. Because I don't know what I'm going to do with this area. It starts to go slightly uphill. So if I have it in my mind that maybe I'm not going to just yet. And let's say I come out from here to there. So I'm deleting a little section so we can kind of create like a slight little wiggle coming down. And then if I do the same thing here, and if I kind of come in by a couple. So I'm just kind of creating right now a design to some... I'm going to kind of like stagger it and wave it. And hopefully it works out. Hopefully this works out because this is going to look really weird if it doesn't. So we'll try and do it at different like staggered stages. Like we'll kind of make that one quite over the top. We'll bring that one down to here. This one can be almost kind of just a standard bend, which you can kind of get away with. That there will be, again, a little bit more staggered. Like that. So it kind of bends and waves in, which is quite funky. I do kind of like it. I do kind of like it in a weird way. We'll have all through roads that go underneath anyway. It kind of just waves around and comes from us. So let's get this sorted then, because I do need to get rocking and rolling. So a 10 and a 10, a 10 and a 10. So we can then finally get this Connected. There we go. So using that road, because these kind of slip roads, in a sense, don't really like to go in straight lines half the time. So there we go by 10, which I then do a 26. That's what we've been doing on pretty much all of them. 26. 26. Now flip around the ones in the wrong direction. And then what we then set up, boys, is the alignments. Now, yeah, I've got to do the highway to a 2-lane road at that point. Right, just sorting all that out. Boom. 2-lane road on this for the lane math. Look at that. Quick junctions with your boy. So we're just going to do the lane connectors real quick. So there's no confusion with these guys about how and what lanes they need to be in. Boom. So we now have a nice solid connection to this area. Wonderful, Celiac, wonderful. So now we can kind of build from it then. So let's quickly just terraform this. So all I'm going to do really is just kind of smoothing it off slightly. Smoothing that off to the edge of the kind of a key wall. I'm just going to run down with a little bit of smoothing right now. Again, just take the edge off. Push it down a bit. There we go. So we'll have all trees planted down there and you won't even notice that much. It's that sunken. So this kind of comes straight through. I want to do the train station first. And how we did it over here is you kind of came away from the 4-lane road a bit. And it's more within like the kind of the section of the commercial area. So if we try and almost try and replicate it. But what I want to do here with this wiggly road is I want to create like a little bit of a city park for this section. So they have something that they can utilize quite heavily. And also we can generate a little bit of money. Are we using these tree roads? Yes, by the looks of it. Yes, yes we are. So if I, make sure I got the right settings on you. If I came out and let's say, what's the length of that there? That's a 22. So if I, is it going to be a 11 there? Right, if I started here to there's a 19. I mean, I'm not going to get it perfect, am I? I ain't going to get it perfect, but that should be an 11. So a 10 and a 10. And I just want to create first a little kind of grid section to what would potentially be my little commercial zone. So that will go up that way. So we'll do it 2 on this side, but 1 on that side. And then I'm going to kind of try and replicate something over here. And then we'll kind of merge them all together. And then we'll try and create a little city park around this. So bam, to the bam. Do it again. Right, so we're going to bend that round, and then we're going to integrate a city park within the inside of it. So hopefully they walk through it to get to the train station. That's kind of what I'm hoping for. So let's start with this one then. Now, it probably won't follow the bend that nice, because I'm not sure if it's going to be 100% level, but we should get something coming out of this. We should definitely get something coming out of this. Right, bring that down to about there. And we'll have to kind of do a little breaker road as well. So not so freaking long. Right, there we go. So if I can try and do a breaker road, which will just break up the alignment. If I chose it here, or if I chose it off that node. Just to kind of break up the full-on lengths. But what it does mainly is it then kind of bends all around. I can kind of come off this and wiggle and stuff like that. We kind of then get our little format right now. So what I could do is I could create a little kind of section there. We're borderline grid format then. And small little city park wouldn't go amiss just there. It would just kind of be nice. It won't be huge because we are in the suburbs. But unless I can also just keep the road. Maybe I can use the road going through the park. That could be a good idea. But yeah, I need to add the train station in next. So I'm going to bring this road pretty much going straight. And these will kind of all bend round anyway and kind of go in their own way. So that will kind of do a 10 by 10. That will do a go by 10, then do a 10 by 10, unless it does a full 20 by 20. And then this, I've got to decide how we now kind of get away from the bendy format again. So if I come out by, is that 40? Was this a 40, by the way? That was a, yeah, that was a 40. That's a 40. And let's say that come to there. I got to sort this out before I do anything else. Let's say I just went for a straight bend like that. I'm trying to break away from it as much as possible, but also finish this off so I can then start my bendiness. If that made sense. I bring this a bit further down. So I know that is then going to be a 39. So if I do a 29, where a then can take place a 10 by 10 bend. So we have the square, which we then base everything else off. Little cul-de-sacs and the gaps, some trees, some little parks, whatever it may be. The possibilities are pretty much endless. So I'll finish this side off here because it will annoy me if I don't do it. And so like I said, yeah, I could have done a 20 by 20. And you know what? I will. That looks a little bit better. So we'll go with that. We'll get the train station down next then. So the train station I used over here was the one that had the bypassing route. Now the one with the bypassing route is, if I can find it, where are you? I can't find you. Oh, what's it called? The Ground Jewel Island. Oh, it's the one with the triple things at the back. So triple things at the back, it's this one, right? Ha ha! I found you. Right, okay. So that's it, and we're going to literally use the road on the kind of junction connection, and then we're going to bring the train line in. So unfortunately, we're going to have to delete a bit. I'm so sorry. So sorry right now. So delete from about there to there. I'm so sorry, trains. I'm so sorry. Not really. And then we're going to get disconnected. So standard procedure. As much of a bend as possible so it doesn't Frankenstein the whole system. And allows for a more natural progression. So in reality, I could have made that a straight line and bend this way, but we'll leave it like this for now. Because it'll be fine. Once I add more and more stuff in. I mean, I might even have to sink some of it as well for roads to go over. Once the roads go over and we kind of over here too, you won't even notice how much that bends. So, it ain't the worst situation at the minute. Then I've got to kind of update the train line to be able to stop it. So we'll just kind of wait until the line actually runs through it. I just noticed something as well. We got 736 people using this, which is actually pretty good. Actually, we'll come back to this because it might take a little bit of a while. We'll come back to all of that. So, okay, we've got this area pretty much good to go. I'm going to do a little bit more of the roadwork zone over here because this will be kind of like high density buildings. So if I quickly just add a little bit more to it. So we do have the roads here right now with the trees. Now if I ran this to there. Right, the reason I'm running it to there, because obviously I can't connect directly in because it's too close. But I've also got to start thinking about my grid format too. So that's a 10. That would be 11. So that's an 11 there. That's an 11 there. So if I do a 10 by 10 by 10. I don't know what happened then. Right, I should really just do it there. Alright, delete. So my, well, I don't know why I delete that, but my 10 by 10 goes there. We've got the perfect alignment right now. So get rid of you for a second. There we go. So going all the way down to here is a 58. So coming out by 11. would be a 47. So that should be an 11 there, which creates us a straight up. Oh, wait, that's not even completely touching it. Wait, how did that happen? We're 13 away. Oh, that didn't go to plan, did it? Oh, so why does it keep bending like that? So, a 12 is what I needed. Okay. Well, that was very funky. That was very, very funky right now. So, moving up. 69, so we need a 58. There we go. Ooh, okay, so a 100. And we'll bring it just to there for a second. So what I could do, it starts to bend there. I could get it where it starts to bend, which would be here. Now, I don't know if that's too close of a connection. But I'm just trying to maximize the space within this area. Let's see what happens when we kind of implement this. Yeah, way too close. Way too close. Right, if I delete you, delete you. If I delete it all the way back, again, this might seem a little bit ridiculous. If I do a 5, and if I do a 10 there, because obviously the length is a little bit longer. Go from here to here. Alright, drop that down. So the bend happens like this. Do you know what? I'll go with it. It's not perfect, but it does what I need to do. So, looks funky. I know this. Don't get it twisted, boys. But going across here, we're at 60. So, there's going to be room in the center here for a 35, a 33. If I went over by one more. So, that's a 34, 34. That is dead center for that connection. You might be thinking, yo, only one connection, Seniac? Are you crazy? No, because we will have multiple ones. So that will be 40. If I went across by like another 40, we'll have one there running straight up. So it allows us then to kind of create these makeshift grids. Now I know these are not going to be perfect. Oh, that one is actually perfect. See guys, it's like I know what I'm doing. Not. Right, straight down, road running straight down there. And then it gets a little bit of a grey area right now as we try to get all the rest of these connected. But if I do a 10 and run this way down, so if they entered from there, they're running then parallel going down. And then that to there is a 14. So if I ran to... It's a tough one right now. Do I make it all kind of fall into this place? Which I could do by an 8 by 8. And connect in. Now if I brought this down, let's say by 20... came out by 10 and do a bend there. Just something a little bit different, isn't it? 7 by 7-ish. Boom. Then we get these nice little areas which we can kind of mess about with. But that's not the point anyway. I've got to create another connection. So I don't know whether to leave that road as a through road, but then I'll be funneling traffic in God knows what places. That there doesn't seem right to have that connection like that. So I don't know whether to do it there. I'll do it like that. No, actually, no. I'm not going to have a connection there. We'll keep that as a through road because they'll utilize this as a cut through. And this should be a higher speed road. So, counterintuitive, but it should work. Right, zoning wise anyway, we should now have the train line running through there so we can kind of work with it. Meaning I can now kind of, I don't know why I paused it, we can get the commercial in. So basically what I'm doing is I'm creating the shopping zoning district around where the train station is. This will allow us then to maximize the amount of customers and shoppers nearby. Which is good for business, boys. Good for business. We'll do it on this side too real quick. There we go. So we'll just do the commercial there because we do have quite a decent commercial demand. We don't really have any residential demand, so... Oh, I've done low density. Yeah, it has to be low density over there, sorry. Then we'll do some high density commercial. So I'll get it going around all the edges. And what I'll do is I'll do walkways so pedestrians can walk through this area. Let me just pause a second, because I'm going to cut off on the corner section. There's no need for it there. There we go. Now, even though we're not really going to get any residents living in here at the minute, I'm just going to zone it residential. Because obviously we don't really have any demand. And also it's a little kind of bit awkward having it surrounded by commercial. But trust me, there'll be residential all the way around on the edges too. So the commercial will just kind of feel central to the area. And I do need to bring public transport over here. But again, it's not the end of the world just yet. We'll just let it naturally grow. We'll let it do what it's going to do. But I do have that industrial demand that I do need to extend and expand on. Which we're going to do here right now. So we'll bring this right up to the train line. So 130. And another road here, we'll do 130. So the roads that kind of connect to it, we'll kind of run with it. And it won't kind of go over. I mean, it could go over, to be honest with you. But I don't know whether to kind of keep this completely separate. But then again, the highway connection's then all the way over there, unless they drive all the way down and round. So I just got to pick a spot that I want it to connect. So if I just kind of, I mean, it's industrial area, so the zoning will literally be like this. And we'll pick a spot as well. You can never see it from that side. I think we'll choose this. If I come out by another 20 straight in, that's our solid run-up connection. What was that going across? That's 30. Unless I did it by the 30 mark to kind of match it. And delete this instead. So it's the same distance from there to there. Yeah. I mean, that's going to go down as well. Everything's going to be so connected underneath. It's kind of crazy how good that's going to be. So what I'll do, I'll utilize the middle one. Yeah, I think we'll utilize the middle one. So all I'm really doing here is just elevating the connection up and over. So I went by 12. And then the slit there to connect in. It does slightly dip down, doesn't it? Right, what I can do is there to there, align it. There we go. So then the train just passes neatly underneath. So that's all kind of connected like that. We'll now get the remainder of all this in. We'll zone that industrial stuff then. So then we kind of start to spend that demand, which will then in return start to kind of grow the residential and commercial demands that we kind of need now to build this area up. So having that go all the way across, not bad. That's really weird how that one was not even connected. There we go. So I could literally just run this straight across as well. Now, do I have one more breaker road? Let's say I came out of here. Where is there a connection here? 17 there. So if I came by 10, could I do a straight 7 by 8? That works. And it just kind of breaks the monogamous pattern up. And creates a little kind of road which I can kind of then filter into this. So that is a 30. If I go by a 20, we can hit it with the 10 by 10. Which is so close to that connection anyway. And yeah, why not? Why not? So that's where we're going to throw the industrial in. Damn, we're doing so much zoning right now. So we'll do the dirty side of the industrial first. Which I think I'm going to go up to here. And then I'm going to do a strip of it just there. And then we do all the offices going around, which is then kind of treated as the eco-friendly side of the industrial. And there's a metro stop just there. And I leave it 2 wide gap for the highway. So where does that metro then run? So that kind of instantly bends and goes up. I mean, what I could do... I mean, I won't do it now, but I definitely need something over here, around here somewhere. So I could set this up where it kind of maybe cuts in and then goes back that way up. But then I've got that additional line here, which comes from... Does that come from the airport? Yeah. That could run down. Yeah, so if I had one of these stops there, where there's multiple exits and entries, I could bring that in to connect and then bend up into there. So it just adds an extra stop onto the line. And then that stop there, that line here, comes down and kind of ends at that place. So we just got that additional kind of run to get from point A to point B a bit quicker. Again, try and minimize as much vehicles moving as possible. So that's going to spend the industrial demand. We do have, again, like I said, a highway connection just there for it. There's one over here. They could even drive over to there to get to that one. Most importantly, there is a industrial connection. And this is also going to provide more services as well. What is my garbage at the minute? So I can definitely place down some garbage production buildings. Those large recycling centers. Which one? This one, isn't it? Yeah. Definitely place a couple of these in. If I drop one there and one there, and we'll do some on the entry point just here. So one there, there, and there. So quite a few, which will definitely up our processing status right now. So will it go up as they all slowly turn on, or is that literally what I've increased it by? It's in the green. That's all I can say right now. It's in the green. But that'll be somewhat of a decent sized help. But we got it all done. So everything that I've zoned right now, just imagine how long it's going to take to grow. This is why when I add that, we did that episode where we enabled the Superman one, how amazing that was. Right, let's get a train line stopping here then. And a train stopping there. There we go. So add it to that additional line. So these guys have connectivity. And it should slowly then start to grow this area. This, again, will also slowly start to grow too. I'll let it do what it's got to do. It's a very, very central area. Oh, and I've got to make sure that I do connect with paths. So even though they can't drive, walking connections will be completely fine. So if I did that on this one, so they'll cross there into here. And what I'll do is I'll add a crossing. I don't know if they'll use it here. It probably won't be until we got some stuff in, but there's a crossing there if they need to use it. I'll add a second one just there. And then we'll do a path as well. So I'll just do a straight line. So a couple of little crossing points right there. So it is connected, just not via vehicles, again, to reduce the traffic, because I see that as being a through road as they kind of gather through coming from this side, especially when we build it up more and more. And we'll eventually probably stick a roundabout on there as well, depending on how the traffic kind of goes. But yeah, I've spent now all of my demands. So it's just a case of waiting for them to all be zoned and kind of implemented and placed in. I think I did some zoning last episode as well that we're still waiting to get built, but I can't remember where I placed it. I mean, we did this. And yeah, there's a few little spots where the residential's not even placed in yet. So we're still waiting for what we did last episode to kind of get all finalized too. But we're on our way to 350,000, let alone 500,000. You can see that we are slowly growing. But we just got to spend that commercial and industrial demand so we can get some more movement on the scene. Nice. Nice. We're probably going to have like another port or something, because this one's going to get so freaking overloaded right now. It really is. So bad. So if I was to add like an additional one in, I mean, we need something around here that will kind of benefit these guys too. But you can see where we're going to have the issues anyway. But it's not a huge problem, but you know, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. So, right, public transport anyway. Should I... Oh, we got a little bit of a deaf problem. Hold on. Deaf care. So we've got 7,000 deceased. Now, I don't know whether that's from it's like a death wave from the Super Demand mod or anything like that. But we definitely have the capacity for it. 100% we got the capacity for it. it might be a case of, I mean, looks like there's a load of vehicles on the way. As you can see, they're now driving in this direction. So I think it's just a case of they're getting there. They'll slowly get there. So anyway, we'll come back to that anyway. Public transport. So I don't want to do the subway line just yet because I just want to see how this area progresses. I want to look at areas where we've already kind of incorporated transport. And I want to, in this industrial area, try and incorporate an additional tram line. But it's a case of the current tram lines, have they caused many traffic issues? Just scanning around right now. There's a traffic light's just there, that's why they're stopped. Going through here. I mean, the traffic's dead around this section anyway. Because that's my only kind of problem with the trams. Is they can cause huge, ridiculous traffic issues. But I think we're kind of getting away with it with these ones. So if I was to kind of extend it, I want to create an additional line coming off this that cuts through the industrial area there and connects back. But it's a case of seeing where I can do it. So in reality, if I was to upgrade the road, let's do it this way. I can't come off of there because we're going to hit a roundabout. So it's not ideal. But I do need to come off this because if I want to be able to connect to that line and that line, I need to touch both of these roads. So I could kind of come down here and cut out, but there's no point. I might as well just come straight off. I could go across the road there, under the highway here. Right, I can't come then down there because of the roundabout, unless... unless I came down there. I could come up. Can trams go under tunnels? If so, I can make it go under there. If not, I can kind of come down that road, which is not great. But I then need to get connected to this. If I can go under tunnels and go there, run along. It all depends if I can make it go under a tunnel. I don't see why you can't. Yeah, you should be able to, right? Let me upgrade this. Oh, okay, this is perfect. Right, this is going to be... Oh, I've done that wrong. Right, this is going to be, like, hilarious. But it should be pretty fun. It should be pretty fun. Right, there we go. It should be pretty fun. So I should then be able to get this all now connected. Right, just bear with me a second, because this is kind of crazy. That's a trolley bus. I need the tram. Have I just gone past it? Tram track road, yes. So, right. Again, this probably doesn't make much sense of what I'm doing, but it should work out. So I'm going to get to cross here. I think these little trams right now are becoming quite the feature to the city. Oh, that's the 4-lane road I'm now getting rid of. So I wonder how much traffic issues that will kind of provide for us. It might add some to it, but I don't know. So what I'm doing is I'm making it run for the industrial area. It's going to go under the tunnel, back up, round here, under the tunnel, back up, just so it can literally, right, run next to the metro station just here. Running this right down, it then connects to there. So, it's not amazing, but I have this additional loop connecting. That's a bit funky. But I've just gone, I mean, I could have made it turn down into that, but trying to get that extra little stop along the way. So let's see where this could potentially connect. So there's definitely a stop there. So if I added a stop here, we're connected to the current existing stops. There. There. All right, the next stop happens to be, just here. And then we turn. We would turn then down here. So I did a stop just before the metro. I'll then do a stop just there, just because. I'll do a stop then just here. Kind of keeps off that a little bit. Stop just there, and then a stop just here. So it's like either side of this little metro station too. We'll have a stop just there. Coming down, actually, cancel that. Stop just there. I'll do the stop here. There. And connect in. So I'm trying to make it even, and it should then start appealing and be approachable for a wide audience around itself. So it's all about just trying to make it as accessible as possible. And it's just so we can reduce the amount of vehicles being used, thus hopefully reducing the traffic before I do turn off despawn, because that's going to be terrifying. Right, complete the line. We have then an additional line. It's not the best, but it should do the job. It should do the job quite nice for us. So connects to two additional lines, which in reality makes the whole thing intertwined and connected. So you can pretty much get on a tram right now for quite the vast majority of the city as you kind of transfer your way through. But, I mean, how is that looking in terms of public transport these days? Even though we've only just recently added some additional lines to it in the last episode, it is now the second most used form of... Wow, it transfers literally half the amount of people that use the metro line. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that crazy right now? Interesting. Very interesting, boys. But yeah, this zone I've placed down, this demand that we've now just spent, is going to take a while to be built. It really is. Do we need the aid of a little bit of a super demand? Maybe. Maybe. 14% unemployed. No wonder why they were asking for so much freaking commercial and industrial. It is all slowly being built. But we're in that phase of the game where things just take a little bit longer right now. It really does. So, right, we're going to squeeze it. Actually, let me see. Do you know what? It would be a good idea to kind of see the city limits. Are we close to anything right now? My big ones are the segments and nodes. So the segments and nodes are the ones that are going to officially stop us from building. Like, once I reach those, it's game over. I can't... I've hit it before in the very first series I ever did of Fool's Town. It killed the city. You cannot build anymore. And it's 36,000, 32,000. We are over halfway. But when you look at the grand scheme of things, how tightly compact the downtown section is, the suburbs won't be that compact. So we've definitely still got some more. We've definitely got a lot of work still to be able to get done. Trees. I got 300,000 trees. I'm allowed 1 million, basically. I'm allowed 1 million. I've got one prop. That's hilarious. Transport lines. I mean, I'm not going to even touch that. Citizens instance, which is the number of sins during the last pass that were actively being simulated walking, biking, chilling in the park. I'm almost at the limit as that, as the amount of citizens you're going to see. Citizen units. Number of citizens in use that were used by AI to hold a group of citizens they can represent at home. We're halfway to that. You can have up to 1 million citizens in your game. We are a little bit over than what we got, but that's obviously because you have to also include tourists. We're almost at the limit for parked vehicles, so at some point we'll stop seeing vehicles parking. The streets will get a little bit more quiet as they get more and more spread out. Active vehicles, we've got 20,000 active vehicles right now. Again, we come to 65,000, so we still got a long way to go. But we should be able to bring that number slowly down. Well, it's a kind of a battle, because yeah, you bring it down with public transport, but you'll also bring it back up with more citizens as you move them in, because there's more people. So it's something that you will never really kind of win against. But yeah, zoned blocks. This is how much zoning we could do. We are literally just gone over halfway from the amount of zoning we can do right now. That's crazy how that's a limit. But it's understandable. Again, same thing over the limit, halfway limit for the amount of buildings we can have. So this is what's going to stop the series, right? It's not going to be because I run out of building space. That will never happen. But that's what will make us stop the series of these city limits, and we are well over halfway. But look at how kind of dense this is. It's not going to be this dense everywhere. It's like, look how less dense the suburbs are. And we're going to have lots of those going around the edges. But definitely taking a while to now build, isn't it, guys? It definitely is. So I think we'll end it for here anyway, guys. We've still got lots of work to get done. Next episode, we're going to build one of the industries, and I'll also take a look at trying to get the surfaces in for all these new little areas. Try and stimulate the growth a little bit more. But I hope you guys did enjoy this. If you did, smash that like button down below. And until next time, I say you're well, so good.